The NBA is one of the richest sports leagues in the world. Players within the league regularly make over $100 million over the course of their contract, and the amount of money in the league has increased over the years, with changes being made to the CBA to allow for larger max contracts. In this video, we'll take a look at just which players have benefited the most from that and hold the largest active deals right now.
But first, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We are giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice, so be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter this giveaway. It's really that simple.
Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook might be famous for his time on the Oklahoma City Thunder, but after spending some time in Houston in a stint that didn't work out, Westbrook is set to play for his third team in the NBA. That team is the Washington Wizards, who gave up star point guard John Wall as well as a draft pick to acquire Westbrook. But what are the Wizards getting that they are willing to part way with one of their main players for? Well, Westbrook is one of the best scoring point guards in the league, as well as a player capable of making plays in a variety of situations. In fact, Westbrook has been one of the best all-around point guards in the league for a number of years now, and scored 27 points per game last season with Houston, with 7 assists per game and 7.9 rebounds per game. During previous seasons, before joining Houston, Westbrook achieved a historic accomplishment by averaging a triple-double during 3 straight seasons. He's the only person in NBA history to average a triple-double in multiple seasons, and made the record even harder to break by adding a 3rd season to the streak before leaving for Houston. But as we know, things didn't work out with the Rockets. Westbrook currently has the largest active contract in the NBA, which is 5 years long and worth $206 million. The contract was originally signed with the Oklahoma City Thunder, but the Thunder were obviously unable to keep Westbrook around for the life of the contract, and it was inherited by Houston, who decided that such a large investment in Westbrook wasn't what they were looking for and traded the deal away to the Washington Wizards. Reportedly, the move was partly motivated by Westbrook's desire to play for another team like Oklahoma City. After Kevin Durant left the Thunder for Golden State, Westbrook was the undisputed top player on Oklahoma's roster and had a chance to run the team as the floor general, something that's harder on a Houston team that also has major superstar James Harden. Reports have also come out after the trade which would further confirm that something was amiss between the two stars in Houston. Even if the situation between the two didn't become a large public controversy, Harden reportedly preferred John Wall to Westbrook, and this was part of the reason the Rockets made the trade. With this kind of discontent between the two biggest stars on the team, it's not hard to see why the Rockets felt the need to move from Westbrook. But things aren't all bad news for the Wizards point guard, because with Washington, Westbrook is once again the top dog in town and won't have to share the backcourt with another player that was already rooted in a similar role. And with the Wizards being a long-suffering team that hasn't broken through in recent years to accomplish better things, there's a big chance here to become a legend in the city of DC if Westbrook can lead them to better things. Stephen Curry. After LeBron James, there might not be a more recognizable player in the NBA than Steph Curry. While LeBron is known for his longevity and his runs with Miami, Cleveland, and now the Los Angeles Lakers, Curry rose to the top during a shorter period, but was the face of the Golden State Warriors during a more dominant period than James had ever accomplished in his own career. The Warriors, of course, took home 3 NBA titles with Curry at the helm, as well as accomplishing the best regular season record in NBA history without winning the title that season. But while the Warriors still might have a chance of igniting their dynasty again, it looks like their run is near its end, and whether or not it continues may largely fall on the shoulders of Curry. After losing Kevin Durant to free agency, injuries to the Splash Brothers duo of Curry and Klay Thompson washed away the Warriors' chances of becoming a contender during the shortened 2019 season. The Warriors had one of the worst records in the league and were never in contention to make the playoffs by the time the season had ended. Before the start of the 2020 season, another injury has taken Klay Thompson down, and this one will have him out for the year. The team does have a big new addition that was taken with the 2nd overall draft pick, promising center James Wiseman. But Wiseman has very limited college experience coming out of Memphis, thanks to being ruled ineligible by the NCAA during his sole season there. As such, the job of leading the Warriors definitely falls squarely on the shoulders of Curry, who will have a chance to prove why he's one of the highest paid players in the NBA. Curry is the 2nd highest paid player in the NBA behind Russell Westbrook. If you go by total contract value, as his 5-year deal, which was signed near the peak of the Warriors' run back in 2017, is worth $201 million. This puts Curry only slightly under Westbrook in total contract value, but there's a case to be made that signing off on such a large contract is more impressive in Golden State than it is in Oklahoma City. The Warriors, after all, were an active dynasty when the contract was first signed and had more other star players such as Klay Thompson and Draymond Green contending for large deals that would naturally worsen the team's cap situation. But now that the Warriors are down to just Curry and not the other half of the Splash Brothers pairing, they'll have a chance to see if their major investment in the point guard will pay off. If it does, and the team is in the playoffs again, they may just have some chance of keeping their dynasty alive rather than accepting its end with the departure of Durant and the injuries to the Splash Brothers during the 2019 season. Anthony Davis and Klay Thompson. Power forward Anthony Davis is tied for the third highest paid player in the NBA with Klay Thompson, and that's no surprise. In fact, ever since Anthony Davis entered the league, many have wondered when he'll end up with a massive contract like his current one. That's because Davis was drafted by the New Orleans Pelicans back in 2012, placing him in a small market and with a franchise that isn't the most known for having success in the title hunt. Davis remained with the Pelicans until 2019 and arguably gave them a fair chance to construct a team around him that could accomplish better results. But even the draft selection of Zion Williamson wasn't enough to turn New Orleans into a winning team and keep Davis around. The Pelicans waited until 2019 to cash in on their talented star player instead of doing nothing and eventually losing Davis in free agency to a larger market team. After all, New Orleans isn't considered a glamorous destination for an NBA superstar, and the Pelicans aren't a winning team. With neither of these factors in place, few expected Davis to stay around for his entire career with the franchise. The Pelicans were at least able to get 3 players in return from the Lakers for the deal, including second overall pick Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram, who was also selected at the same position in the draft. Davis did join the big market team of all big market teams, ending up on the Lakers through the trade and immediately slotting into their lineup as a key player in a team led by LeBron James. Davis also didn't have to wait long to see better results than he had accomplished in New Orleans, winning the NBA title in his first season with the team. The Lakers front office is aware that LeBron is getting up there in age, and the move for Davis was a move to win now and secure another ring and a chance at a dynasty before LeBron falls off performance-wise. And that's exactly what happened. Winning a ring was enough to keep Davis in Los Angeles and to avoid the temptation of branching out to another team after winning a ring and looking to be the main superstar with another franchise rather than playing next to LeBron, an undisputably more recognizable star. However, Davis also had a desire for a long-term contract for health reasons, because, as everyone knows, the value of a player's next short-term contract can decline drastically if they end up injured. The deal that Davis signed with the Lakers in 2020 places him above LeBron in total value, coming in below Westbrook and Curry at $189 million. This amount, however, is obviously still massive and ties Davis with Warrior shooting guard Klay Thompson. And based on the injuries to Thompson in the NBA Finals against the Raptors, as well as this offseason, it looks like the Lakers might have a better long-term investment with Davis than the Warriors have in Thompson. With that being said, Davis hasn't yet achieved the same heights that Thompson has already reached, with the Warriors only having won 1 NBA title instead of 3. It remains to be seen if the Anthony Davis era for the Lakers will be as fruitful as the Curry and Thompson era has been for the Warriors, as both players move through their contracts across a similar time frame. Both are 5-year deals, but Thompson signed his own during 2019, further complicating the cap situation for a Warriors team that already has to pay Stephen Curry the second largest contract in the league. The salary cap tends to break up the best of teams if they don't draft well enough to replace the players that they inevitably lose through free agency. And even though the Warriors have been lucky that their main stars like each other enough to stay on the same team instead of getting max deals with other franchises, they too may suffer that same fate if their second overall draft pick, James Wiseman, isn't all that the Warriors hope he will be based on his high school game and very limited college experience.